Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Katie, the organic esthetician. All right, today we are going to be talking about injectables. So if you're someone who has had injectables like neuromodulators or fillers, or you're someone who's thinking about getting them done, make sure you keep watching. I'm going to be sharing some tips along with ingredient suggestions that you can easily incorporate into your daily skincare routine to help keep your skin and muscles healthy while prolonging the effects of your injectables and allowing you to get them less often. Okay, so before we jump in, I guess I should just say I have no injectables. It's not something I've ever done. As of now, I'm really not planning on doing it. My whole shtick is kind of use all the gizmos and gadgets that I can along with skincare to see what kind of effects I can achieve without injecting toxins or synthetic ingredients into my skin. It doesn't mean that I couldn't use some, and I'm definitely not trying to make anyone feel bad for doing it. I think I get asked a lot how old I am. I'm gonna be 36 in a few months. I probably could be doing a lot more microcurrent than I am right now, and I'm really seeing how lazy I've been written all over my forehead. So we'll talk about microcurrent a little bit later. But ultimately, I understand why people get injectables. It's immediate gratification. Aging and the physical signs of aging can be really challenging to get over emotionally. I'm right there with you. I've definitely thought about doing injectables. It's just kind of, not my thing. I'm the organic esthetician after all. That being said, lots and lots of people get them. What I would love to do in this video is just share some things to make you mindful about what it is that you're doing, the effects that injectables can have on your skin and the health of your muscles, and share some suggestions with you to help maintain the overall health of your skin while you continue to do these injectables. So we're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna be talking about neuromodulators and fillers, the two standard forms of injectables. So let's start with Botox. All right, so Botox. You get a Botox injection to freeze the muscle in a relaxed state, which inhibits muscle contraction that causes fine lines and wrinkles. You might do this correctively to address lines that are already there, or preventatively, which is something that's become really popular, to prevent those lines from forming by stopping the contraction before it causes fine lines and wrinkles. This isn't that kind of video, so I'm really not going to go there, but I have a hard time with Botox for prevention. Totally understand why you would do it correctively, but we'll save that for another video. So a couple benefits of getting Botox, right? You are freezing the muscle. It's no longer contracting, and those contractions are what form those fine lines. As we age, these lines can get really deep. So really effective at minimizing and neutralizing line depth. They're fairly instant. Maybe it'll take a few sessions to get there to where you want to go, and always, I would strongly urge everyone to err on the side of caution when doing injectables, because we all know or have a friend who looks a little crazy. So just be mindful that that can happen. The benefit in that situation is that it only lasts 4 months. And the downside to it is that it only lasts 4 months. When you freeze a muscle, different things happen. Specifically with facial muscles, they act a little differently than all of the other muscles in your body, because all of the other muscles in your body attach to the bone. So you move your arm and the muscle moves with it. On your face, your muscles attach to the other muscles or directly to your skin. So when you freeze a muscle, it can have implications on the muscles around it. It can also affect the overall health of the skin above it. And that's kind of where we're going to focus. When you're frozen, you can get stagnation. And that means a collection of fluids and waste that's not able to drain properly out of the tissue. You also want to increase circulation to that area because it's not getting proper blood flow when it's frozen, right? And blood brings with it oxygen and nutrients, two integral things for healthy cells and tissue. You want to make sure you're draining fluid out and make sure you're stimulating blood flow in to keep the skin and the muscle healthy. So we'll just focus on the frontalis because it's the biggest muscle and maybe where a lot of people are getting Botox, right? Forehead, between the brows, corners of the eyes. Maybe you're doing a brow lift, maybe you're doing some other stuff, but like this is kind of the zone. If this muscle is frozen, it can atrophy. So if you don't lift your arm for 4 months, this muscle is gonna look smaller and be weaker than this one. This one is gonna be bigger than it was when you started because it's overcompensating for the lack of this arm moving, right? You're doing everything with your left arm because your right arm has been frozen at your side for 4 months. So the same thing happens on the face. Using Botox initially, this isn't so much of an issue. Using a lot of Botox over a lifespan, if you're going every 4 months for years on end, that's when problems can start to happen. And that's when you can get the droop. This is frozen, but now all of these muscles don't have the support system that they're used to, and you can kind of get this droopiness throughout the entire eye region. Nobody wants that. You're going to want to stimulate the tissue to make sure that it's getting all of the correct flow. Now, you're not going to want to do something directly over your injection sites. For the first couple months, I would say, I really like being conservative. You know, your injector will probably tell you you're good to get a facial 2 weeks post-injection, and that's totally true. But using heavy-duty modality or a lot of stimulating massage might not be the best thing for that zone if you really want to preserve Botox. So this is your frontalis, and it attaches here. And then it kind of turns into connective tissue that goes all the way back here. So you can actually stimulate your scalp to help the health of this little zone here. I've talked about this tool in other videos. This is an Onma. I retail them over at theorganicesthetician.com, but this is a really great tool to use on a daily basis on the areas around the actual muscle that you injected with Botox. So you can just come here in your temporalis or back here up top of your frontalis muscle. You can release all the way in the back at this occipital ridge. And you're creating blood flow and you're loosening the tightness and adhesions that happen back here that pull on all these muscles here. So that's my first suggestion, would be to release your head if you're doing Botox on your forehead. And it's something that you could do. Again, I always want to be conservative, so wait 2 weeks and then start doing it every day. You can do your Onma over dry hair like I just showed you, or it's also really wonderful in the shower over your shampoo when you're cleansing. Now, I am the queen of devices, so we're obviously going to talk about some skincare gadgets in this video. So the next thing you can do is microcurrent. Now, there are a lot of different microcurrent devices out there. If you follow the channel, you know that I am partial to the 7E wellness devices, but even 7E makes 4 different machines. My suggestion for anyone who's getting Botox or neuromodulators is to get the MyoLift Mini, not the QT. And the main reason that I suggest this is because the MyoLift Mini has dual probes, and you're gonna get a better stretch using 2 probes. So it has 2 programs, Erase and Educate. Over the forehead, you're just going to use Erase. You're going to take your probes in the center and glide them apart very gently, just creating a little stretch. You are doing the exact same thing the Botox is doing. You are stretching and relaxing the muscle with this program. This goes for anywhere that you've had Botox. So if you've done it at the corner of your eyes, you're just gonna do little stretches out this way. If you've done it here, you're gonna do little stretches this way. You're not going to use the Educate, you're just gonna use the Erase. And this is a really wonderful modality to add in over those injection sites to help promote the effects of the Botox, to enhance its results, and allow you to get injections less often. If you're on a 4-month cycle, getting an injection every 4 months, I would say at month 3, start using microcurrent. Do it just a couple times a week, and then the week or two right before your next appointment, do it every day. That's when I would really suggest kind of doing some more intensive treatments. All right, now for a few ingredients to look for and try to incorporate into your daily skincare routine if you're using Botox. So the first one is hyaluronic acid. Now, you would be surprised how much line depth is actually due to dehydration. Adding in something like hyaluronic acid, which is a humectant that holds up to 1,000 times its weight in water, is going to be a really great way to help keep your tissue hydrated to ensure that you're not getting line formation from dehydration. And then obviously you're gonna wanna make sure that you're hydrating orally as well. Now, everyone needs to exfoliate, so why not use an exfoliant that's going to add hydration back into your skin while also triggering collagen production. Lactic acid is a wonderful option for all skin types, all skin concerns, and I personally find that it can be a little less active than some of the other acids that are out there. Retinol is a good option because it increases cellular turnover, which helps to smooth the surface of the skin, which in turn will help smooth out those fine lines and wrinkles. And then the last category of ingredients that you're gonna wanna look for are neurotransmitter inhibiting peptides. Kind of a mouthful. So these include arginine, hexapeptide 8, and palmitoyl tripeptide 5. So these peptides, when applied topically, work to inhibit the chemical signals, specifically a chemical called acetylcholine, that triggers contraction in the muscle. It works almost the exact way as Botox. This category of ingredients are called Botox alternatives or Botox in a bottle. You might have seen that on a label before. That's what they're talking about. My suggestion would be to incorporate at least 2 of these ingredients into your daily skincare routine to help enhance and support the Botox injections that you're already getting. I talked about microcurrent, I talked about the ANMA. There are a couple other devices that you could easily incorporate if you are so inclined. So another great option would be LED light therapy. It triggers collagen synthesis. It's going to help minimize line depth while also keeping the tissue really healthy. Occasionally you can get a little flushed after doing a red light LED therapy, and that's because it's going to stimulate circulation in the skin. And as I said earlier, that's a really great way to keep skin and muscle tissue healthy by increasing all of that nutrients and oxygen. Radio frequency is another great option. It also helps to increase collagen synthesis and works to lift and firm the skin. And lastly, high frequency can be a really great option 2 weeks post-injection to do all over your skin to increase that oxygenation, stimulate collagen, and again, just promote the overall health of your skin. Fillers are injectables that add volume. So a reason that you're losing volume is because you're losing collagen and elasticity in your skin. So while fillers can be incredibly effective at increasing volume in the skin, their lifespan is 6 months to 2 years, depending on how your body metabolizes the injectable. It's not a permanent injectable. While there are such things like Sculptra, which is a really great option, you just want to make sure that you feel very confident with your injector. Regular fillers are not a permanent volume solution. They are a temporary fix. So when they wear off, you will deflate. And in the background, your intrinsic aging has not stopped. So you had volume loss, so you got filler, and then your filler wore off, and so now you have even more volume loss. This is kind of the idea I'm trying to convey. Just because you have filler doesn't mean that you need to stop doing anything to promote volume in your skin. You're actually going to want to do a whole lot so that when that filler wears off, it's not a drastic shift. So there's a handful of ingredients that are fairly effective at increasing volume in the skin. Vitamin C is going to be one of your best bets, both internally, orally, and topically. Vitamin C is an antioxidant, obviously, but it's really effective at stimulating collagen production. If you take it orally, it's going to be more effective because it'll have more absorption in the body. But you're just going to want to make sure that you're looking for more liposomally encapsulated options than a regular like vitamin C tablet. I really love the lipospheric vitamin C from Live On Labs. And lately I've been taking a blend, and it's like vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and quercetin from Tesseract Labs. I'll put a link to both of those down below. Vitamin A or retinol, again, really wonderful for increasing collagen and elasticity in the skin and promoting that cellular turnover. It's going to help smooth out the surface while also increasing volume. And then another category of peptides. For volume, you're going to want to look for signaling peptides. This includes copper peptides and matrixyl 3000, which maybe you're familiar with. They signal to your skin to produce more collagen and to protect the collagen that you already have. So again, make sure you're incorporating at least 2, if not 1 from each of these categories into your daily skincare routine to help support fillers by increasing volume in the skin. Now you can also do a lot of modality over filler. Filler, you really just want to be careful that you're not moving it around. I know that they say 2 weeks. I like to err on the side of caution and do a full month before I perform any facial massage over a client with filler, especially if they're adding volume through the cheek area. You could easily just work around those areas as well. Again, LED light therapy is going to be a fantastic modality for triggering collagen and promoting the overall health of the skin. And radio frequency, another great option for increasing volume in the skin to lift, firm, and tighten the skin as well. So when it comes to LED at home, there are some really great options on the market. I personally love the Omnilux Contour Mask. They make a neck and neck treatment as well, but really effective at home LED light treatments. Radio frequency, on the other hand, is kind of a slow progression. I would say there are about 3 options on the market. The NAPA, which is what I've used and have been really happy with. There's the tripolar stop, which I think I'm getting soon. I believe Skin Store is sending one over, and I'm really interested to see how it truly compares with the NAPA. And then the Nebulift, which I find to be more of like a surface lift as opposed to like a deep collagen stimulation. So if you're really interested in doing some sort of volume enhancing treatment, I would maybe look into a professional radiofrequency option as well. Do maintenance at home, but maybe invest in a series of radiofrequency treatments in office. Now, you can also get radiofrequency paired with microneedling. My hesitation is creating trauma in the skin. I'm wildly conservative with collagen stimulation, and traditional collagen induction therapy, microneedling, creates inflammation. And I love triggering that collagen synthesis without creating inflammation. So that's just me personally. I have seen some very compelling before and afters when you pair the 2 together, and it's a very popular treatment right now. So something to look into if you are seriously considering alternatives to filler or wanting to do kind of an intensive to build up the health of your skin, create your own natural collagen, and then opt for doing an injectable. So hopefully this helped give you a better idea of what you can be doing on a daily basis and in between your injection appointments to help maintain both the effects of your injectables and the health of your skin. Now, there are a couple new treatments out there that I found very interesting that are maybe a little more on the natural side, even if they're still slightly invasive. Things like PRFM and PDO threads. So just some kind of alternatives to traditional injectables. The PRFM stands for platelet-rich fibrin matrix. And what that is they actually draw your blood, they pop it in a centrifuge, they whip it up and increase the thickness of it, and then they use that as their injectable. So it's really great for thickening the skin. So as I said earlier, I've never done any injectables, But the PRFM is probably the most intriguing option out there, especially for the under eye area. So that's something that I notice on myself as I get older, this pretty increasing loss of volume under my eye. While radio frequency and LED light therapy can be beneficial, it's really a challenging area to treat just because you're up around the eye, you're maybe inside the orbital bone. It can get really uncomfortable to do some of these modalities under the eye. Another thing that happens under the eye is that your fat pad slips. So I do so much facial massage trying to just push everything up. But as we age, all the fat in our head just starts moving down, right? It kind of likes to hang out down here, which is super fun. So it's another reason why you get more depth under the eye as we age, because the fat and the collagen that was keeping it plump and full has shifted downward, creating physical depth in the eye socket. So who knows, maybe in the future. The other thing that I think is pretty interesting are the PDO threads. PDO threads use a suture inserted into the skin using a cannula or a hollow needle. It has a little barb on the end. There are a couple different ways to do PDO threads. You can use them for lifting or you can use them for smoothing. So when you lift with a thread, they're usually doing it like at the cheek, the jaw, or at the brow. And when they remove the needle, the thread stays in the skin. And you can actually pull it a little bit to physically lift the face. Now, having that foreign thread in your skin creates a cascade of actions that trigger your body to heal itself, creating collagen. You'll get a little bit of instant lift and then more firming and added volume over time as your body produces its own natural collagen. To smooth, they do more of like a cross-hatching treatment. I don't know if you've ever seen those videos. I mean, all the thread videos are like so icky. I have such a hard time watching them, but also cannot look away. Anyway, they do a cross-hatching approach to help smooth out the surface of the skin. I think it's more effective for crepiness on the surface. So those are some more, it seems silly to say natural options because, it's not super natural, but it's not a toxin and it's not a synthetic chemical that you're injecting. I had a girlfriend that did threads on her jawline and she was really happy with them, but she said they were wildly painful, which always kind of freaked me out. I mean, I can't imagine how it wouldn't be painful. So they do dissolve just like any suture would. So just, interesting things that are out there in the world. All right, so this concludes my injectables video. I hope that this was helpful or at least got you thinking about what you could be doing in addition to injectables to maintain the health of your skin. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I'll put links to the products I mentioned along with a link to a vlog post that I think I'm gonna write this week that I'll attach to this video. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you subscribe. I would say I'll see you next week, but who knows? It's been a little hit and miss lately, and I am really trying to make more content for you. So fingers crossed. All right, everyone, I will see you soon. Bye.